Jeopardy! Please welcome our contestants. Player one. Player two.
Hey!
Player three. And now, here is the host of Jeopardy, Alex Brevet.
Thank you, Johnny Gilbert, and thank you, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome. Let's take you right now into the Jeopardy round. Clues are worth $200 to $1,000 in these categories. The Animal Kingdom. All about authors. Board game history. I only have eyes for you. Lennon. And Meet the Robinsons. Player one, make a selection. The Norway type of this infuriating rodent actually originated in Asia. It's player one. Yes. Select again. In the early 1920s, she scandalized Atlanta society by doing a provocative dance at a debutante ball. Yes, player one. No. Anyone else want to hazard a guess on this? The correct response is Margaret Mitchell. Player one, back to you. Charles Darrow created this game in the Depression while dreaming of fame, fortune, and his summers at the Jersey Shore. Okay, player one. That's right, way to go. Player one, back. Heterohelix is the English variety of this climbing plant. Let's hear it, player one. That's it. We return to you. For his subversive activities, Lenin was banished to this region in 1897. Player one. Ooh, that's incorrect. Anyone else? Player three? No. Any other takers? Yes, player two. Right. Okay, let's get back into this. Player two, you make the next selection as we... Lenin returned to Russia from Europe following the overthrow of the Tsar in this year. It's player one. Yep. Okay, let's get back into this. Player one, you make the next selection as we... In 1947, he shattered baseball's color line. Yes, player one. Hey, you're right. Player one, choose again. Mark Twain said, I came in with this in 1835. It is coming again next year, 1910, and I expect to go out with it. He did. Player one. That's not it. Anyone else care to try to come up with a correct response? Yes, player two. Anyone else care to try to come up with a correct response? Okay, player three. Right you are. Great, you're back into it now. Player three, you start us off. He wrote his last short story, The Betrothed, shortly before his play, The Cherry Orchard. Let's hear it, player one. No. Anyone else care to try to come up with a correct response? Here's the correct response. Anton Chekhov. You get to pick again, player three. This novelist, who wrote about gorillas in Congo, passed away in 2008. Yes, player one? That's correct. Good. Back on the plus side. Player one, start us. A game imported from India is called both Shoots and Snakes and These. Let's hear it, player one. That's correct. Player one. While out of work, Alfred Butts created this word game by mixing anagrams with crossword puzzles. It's player one. Yes. Player one, you pick again. Here's Kelly to start us off.
In monozygotic, or this type of twins, the genetic makeup of each twin is exactly the same.
It's player one. That is correct. Player one, back to you for our next. Like a famous mister of song, it was the nickname of tap dancer Bill Robinson. It's player one. Sorry. Anyone else want to hazard a guess on this? Yes, player three? That's correct. Player three, start us. Answer, the Daily Double. You're in second place, so what is your wager going to be? So, what's your wager? And the Daily Double clue. This Motown legend co-wrote My Girl and Tears of a Clown. Right you are. Please pick again, player three. In 1951, he defeated Jake LaMotta to become middleweight boxing champ. Let's hear it, player one. Yeah, good. Okay, let's get back into it. Emmanuel Goldenberg was the real name of the Robinson who used this first name on the stage. Player three? Yep. Player three, start us. Hasbro says this game was invented by a wealthy couple while aboard their luxury boat. Yes, player one? Good. Player one, you're in. In the 1950s, Parker Brothers took a French game called Conquest of the World and turned it into this. Let's hear it, player one. Yeah! We return to you, player one. Lenin led this majority revolutionary faction to power in the October Revolution. Here's the correct response. Bolsheviks. Player one. Pick again. Following the establishment of a dictatorship, Lenin changed his political party's name to this. We're talking about the Communist Party. Select again. After Lenin's death in 1924, this man began purging rivals and eventually took over the top spot. Here's the correct response. Joseph Stalin. Player 1, back to you for our next selection. The male of this wild goat of the Alps has backward curving horns that may be as long as it is tall. The correct response is the ibex. Player 1, back to you for... It's a list of places to be visited on a journey. Yes, Player 1? You are correct. Player 1, you... Roger that, Houston. The rocket engines have reached this point of firing to life. It's Player 1. You got it. Select again. His father disapproved of his poetry writing, so Chile's Naftali Ricardo Reyes Basualto adopted this pen name. We're talking about Pablo Neruda. Player 1, choose again. The eyes of these croaking critters usually bulge, but they retract and push down on the mouth to help in swallowing. Okay, Player 1. That is correct. You get to pick the hermit type of this animal can twist its abdomen to one side so it tucks neatly into its home. Here's the correct response. The crab. Select again. Sarah?
Sea lions have external ears, while true seals do not. However, they all belong to this suborder, Latin for fin-footed.
It's Player 2. Yes. Great, you're back into it now. And here's the $1,000 clue. The Hirola is also known as the four-eyed species of this African ungulate. Here's the correct response. The antelope. The selection will be yours, Player 2, when we return from this break. And we have 2 daily doubles awaiting you in these categories. Fashion. Panhandling. Conductors. It happened on April 2nd. Under the sea. And what I really want to do is direct. Player 2, start us. This Western-type tie made with a cord and a sliding clasp is also called a shoelace tie. Yes, Player 1? No, that's not right. Anyone else want to hazard a guess on this? Yes, Player 2. Sorry, that's wrong. Any other takers? Player 3? That's correct. Player 3, where do we start? 1865. Jefferson Davis and most of his cabinet flee this capital city. Let's hear it, Player 1. No. Anyone else want to hazard a guess on this? It's Player 3. Yes. He designed titles for silent films before he made us scream over birds and psychos. Let's hear it, Player 1. You are correct. A lot of clues. Years before directing Batman and Robin, he had been a costume designer for Woody Allen, who encouraged him to direct. Let's hear it, player one. Yes. You get to pick again. This dancer and choreographer turned director for the Broadway musical Redhead, which starred Gwen Verdon. The correct response is Bob Fosse. Please pick again. This playwright gave Jessica Lange a big role when he directed the film Far North. Maybe he was a fool for love. Let's hear it, player three. No. Anyone else want to hazard a guess on this? Here's the correct response. Sam Shepard. Player one. No slouch as an artist himself, Julian Schnabel directed the 1996 film about this Haitian-American graffiti artist. Yes, player one? That's not it. Any other takers? The correct response is Jean-Michel Basquiat. Select again. What do you mean I'm funny looking? I'm just this fish, also known as an anemone fish. Let's hear it, player one. Good for you. Select again. It warms the depths of my heart to know you're about to tell me the name of this small edible clam. Let's hear it, player one. Anyone else want to hazard a guess on this? We're talking about the cockle. Please pick again, player one. In 1508, Dutch author Desiderius Erasmus first used her name with box instead of the traditional vase or jar. Player one? That's it. Player one, choose again. In concerts, Stokowski would dramatically toss these aside to show that he could conduct from memory. Let's hear it, player one. Right you are. We return to you, player one. This rare fish, discovered in 1938, has been called a living fossil. We're talking about the coelacanth. You get to pick again. Here's Kelly to start us off.
These colorful organisms of the class Anthozoa include blue, precious, and horny species.
Let's hear it, player two. No. Anyone else care to try to come up with a correct response? The correct response is corals. You get to pick again, player one. Answer, one of the daily doubles. You are in the lead right now. What are you going to wager? Here is your clue. The blue whale is the largest member of this order of animals. Congratulations, you're still in first, player one. We return to you, player one. In 1966, this Algerian-born designer opened a series of boutiques called Rive Gauche. It's player two. Nope. Sorry. Anyone else care to try to come up with a correct response? Here's the correct response. Yves Saint Laurent. Player one. These pants for women came down to just below the knee and were named for their common use in bicycling. Let's hear it, player one. Correct. Player one, back several years before his topless bathing suits were the rage in 1964, women were buying his tube dresses. Here's what we wanted. Rudy Gernreich. You get to pick again. This Spaniard opened his house in 1915 and counted the Duchess of Windsor and Princess Grace among his clients. Here's the correct response. Cristobal Balenciaga. Player one, choose again. It's a sentence using all letters of the alphabet, such as, watch Jeopardy, Alex Trebek's fun TV quiz game. Yes, player two. Good. Player two, you're in command of the board as we continue right now. Marin Alsop made news in 2005 as the first one of these to lead a major American symphony orchestra. Let's hear it, player three. Hey, you're right. Player three, make a selection, please, as we continue. Answer, the second Daily Double. You're in second right now. So, what's your wager? The clue, Willem Mengelberg and Edward van Bynum have been chief conductors of this city's Concertgebouw. That is correct. Player three, choose again. An 1831 play by Pushkin recounts an alleged rivalry between Mozart and this composer. Player one? Sorry, that's wrong. Anyone else want to hazard a guess on this? It's player two. That's not it. Anyone else want to hazard a guess on this? Okay, player three. That is correct. Player three, back to you for our next selection. On CDs with Canada's National Arts Centre Orchestra, Pinchas Zuckerman conducts and plays this. It's player three. Good. Player three, pick again. Cure-all. Okay, player one. Ooh, sorry. That's incorrect. Any other takers? We're talking about panacea. Select again. 1917. He asks the U.S. Congress for a declaration of war on Germany. Yes, player one? No. Any other takers? Player two. That's correct. Player two, start us. 1810. He marries Archduchess Marie-Louise of Austria. Let's hear it, player one. Nice. Where do we begin, player one? These wide trousers extending from the waist to the ankles were popular in late 17th century England. Let's hear it, player one. That is correct. You again, player one. A long, slender cigar. Player one? No, sorry. Anyone else want to hazard a guess on this? Okay, player two. That's it. On the plus side again. Player two, make a selection, please, as we continue. 1930. He is proclaimed the Emperor of Ethiopia. Player one? Yeah, good. And the last clue for $2,000. 1453, Mehmed II begins his siege of this city. It would fall 8 weeks later. Yes, player three? That's correct. All three of you will participate in Final Jeopardy right after this. Here's today's Final Jeopardy category. Animals. You need to select your wager. Let's see what it is. Here's the clue. The genus of this Asian animal is Ailuropoda, and its species name, appropriately, is Melanoleuca. What did you say? How much do you add to your total with that correct response? What did you put as your response? How much do you add to your total with that correct response? What did you put as your response? And that will cost you. Congratulations, player one. You are our new champion. Thanks for playing, everybody. See you next time.
Jeopardy! Please welcome our contestants. Player 1. Player 2. Player 3. And now, here is the host of Jeopardy, Alex Trevette.
Thank you, Johnny Gilbert, and thank you, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome. Let's take you right now into the Jeopardy round. Clues are worth $200 to $1,000 in these categories. Jazz nicknames. Historic construction. L to pay. Slogans and mottos. Name the novel. And fish, bird, or mammal. Player 1, you start us off. It shouldn't take much effort to tell me this. Gordon Brown's political party. Yes, Player 1? Sorry, that's wrong. Any other takers? Yes, Player 3? Good for you. Player 3, you start. It takes a lickin' and keeps on ticking. Yes, Player 1? You are correct. You're out of the hole. Player 1, you start. 1937. I have chosen Mr. Baggins, and that ought to be enough for all of you. Yes, Player 1? No, that's not right. Anyone else? Okay, Player 2. Right. Player 2, you're in command of the board as we continue, right? 1813. Happy for all her maternal feelings was the day Mrs. Bennet got rid of her two most deserving daughters. Let's hear it, Player 1. Sorry, that's wrong. Anyone else care to try to come up with a correct response? Let's hear it, Player 2. No.
Oh,
Any other takers? Player 3? That's it. Player 3, you're in command of the board as we continue, right? 1932. In the 4,000 rooms of the center, the 4,000 electric clocks simultaneously struck 4. It's Player 1. Ooh, sorry. That's incorrect. Anyone else? It's Player 2. That's correct. On the plus side again. Where do we begin, Player 2? 1902. The horror. The horror. Yes, Player 1? That's it. Player 1? 1961. Once upon a time, there was a Martian named Valentine Michael Smith. It's Player 3. Nope. Anyone else want to hazard a guess on this? Yes, Player 1? Sorry, that's wrong. Any other takers? Player 2. Yes. Player 2, you're in command of the board as we continue right now. The skate. Yes, Player 1? That's correct. Where do we begin, Player 1? When it was completed in 1931, the Empire State Building surpassed this building as the tallest in the world. Player 1? That's it. Player 1, Edward Ellington. Okay, Player 1. Good. Please pick again. Charlie Parker. Okay, Player 1. No. Anyone else want to hazard a guess on this? Okay, Player 3. Hey, you're right. You're out of the hole. Okay, let's get back into this. Player 3, you make the next selection as we... John Burks Gillespie. It's Player 1. Ooh, sorry. That's incorrect. Anyone else want to hazard a guess on this? The correct response is dizzy. Player 3, choose again. Thomas Wright Waller. Player 1. Good. Okay, let's get back into this. Player 1, Julian Adderley. Here's the correct response. Cannonball. Please pick again, Player 1. Take me to this reinforced section of fishing line where the hook is attached. Yes, Player 1? No, sorry. Anyone else want to hazard a guess on this? Here's the correct response. The leader. Player 1, you pick again, please. All the news that's fit to print. Let's hear it, Player 1. Hey, you're right. Player 1, you pick again, please. This waterway was first excavated around the 1800s BC. Excavation began on the present version April 25, 1859 AD. We're talking about the Suez Canal. Player 1, pick again. The tarsier. Let's hear it, Player 2. Right. Player 2, you're in command of the board as we continue, right? The honey creeper. Player 1. Sorry, that's wrong. Anyone else want to hazard a guess on this? Here's what we wanted. A bird. Player 2, back to you for our next selection. The bongo. Yes, Player 1? No, that's not right. Anyone else? Let's hear it, Player 3. Good. Player 3, make a selection, please, as we continue. After Charles Bulfinch became its architect in 1818, he added the rotunda and the west central portico. Let's hear it, Player 1. That's not it. Anyone else care to try to come up with a correct response? Here's the correct response. The U.S. Capitol. Player 3, back to you. Sarah will present this clue.
Built to immortalize Shah Jahan's wife, the Taj Mahal was completed around 1650 in this Indian city.
It's Player 1. No, sorry. Anyone else want to hazard a guess on this? Yes, Player 3? That's correct. You again, Player 3. Answer, the Daily Double. You are currently in second place. How much are you going to wager, Player 3? All right, here's your clue. An idea since Napoleon's time, this $15 billion link runs underwater for 23 of its 31 miles. The lead is also yours. Select again. Affectionate name for critters of the genus Agapornis. Okay, Player 1. Correct. A lot of clues, Most lower back pain is in the area of the 5 vertebrae classified as these. Yes, Player 1? Right you are. Player 1. Bath sponge that's really a type of tropical gourd. Player 1? Good. Player 1, back to you for our next selection. Choosy moms choose this. Yes, Player 1? You are correct. Select again. Because I'm worth it. It's Player 1. Right, you're out of the hole. Player 1, with a name like this one, it has to be good. Here's what we were looking for. Smuckers. And the last clue for $1,000. The cichlid. Yes, Player 1? You got it. The Double Jeopardy round will begin right after this. And we have 2 daily doubles awaiting you in these categories. Oh, yes. Famous Canadians. Oscars Wilde. Photography. D in science. And ain't that America? Hey, it's still anyone's game in Player 1. In 1917 and 1918, Ontario's Billy Bishop claimed 72 aerial victories as an ace in this war. Okay, Player 1. Good. We return to you. Toronto-born journalist Morley Safer began co-hosting this TV news magazine way back in 1970. Yes, Player 1? Good. Player 1. Here's Jimmy with the clue.
This mariner's 16th century explorations of the Gulf of St. Lawrence laid the basis for French claims to Canada.
Let's hear it, Player 2. Sorry, that's... Anyone else care to try to come up with a correct response? Yes, Player 3? No, sorry. Any other takers? Let's hear it, Player 1. Good. We return to you, Player 1. Co-discoverer of this pancreatic hormone, Ontario's Frederick Banting won a 1923 Nobel Prize. Player 1? That's correct. Please pick again, Player 1. Answer? One of the daily doubles. You are in first place. You need to select your wager. All right, here's your clue. This Nova Scotia man founded a famous line of ships in 1838. Even so, you are still in the lead. Here's what we were looking for. Samuel Cunard. Player 1. Pick again. We liked her. We really liked her when this actress won for Places in the Heart in 1985. It's Player 1. No. Anyone else want to hazard a guess on this? Player 3? Good for you! Player 3, you're in command of the board as we continue, right? In 1992, proving he could keep up with the younger crowd, he did one-armed push-ups, accepting his City Slickers Oscar. Yes, Player 1? That's correct. Player 1, he's the SNL guy, and you're not, who opened the 1988 show with, "Good evening, Hollywood phonies." He never hosted again. Let's hear it, Player 1. You got it. Player 1, back to you. This American Beauty nominee nearly had a pregnant pause at the 2000 show. She was due with her fourth at any moment. Yes, Player 1? Yep. You get to pick again. Disney sued the Academy for unflattering use of this character after a 1989 duet with her and Rob Lowe. Let's hear it, Player 3. No, that's not right. Anyone else? It's Player 1. That's correct. We return to you, Player 1. This state's Little Diomede Island is about 2.5 miles from Russia's Big Diomede Island. Player 3? That is correct. Player 3, you're in command of the board as we continue right now. This state celebrates July 24th, the day of Brigham Young's arrival, as Pioneer Day. We're talking about Utah. Player 3, pick again. In early 2006, New Orleans was overtaken in population by this nearby capital city. It didn't last. It's Player 1. That's correct. Player 1, since 1792, Frankfurt has been the capital of this state. Here's what we wanted. Kentucky. Select again. It's the more common name for solid CO2. Here's what we were looking for. Dry ice. We return to you, Player 1. Dumbbell front raises strengthen and tone these large muscles that cover the shoulder. It's Player 1. You got it. You again, Player 1. Ah, well, it's the area of light winds and calms in equatorial regions. How depressing. Here's the correct response. Doldrums. Player 1. With a diameter averaging about 7 miles, it's the smaller of Mars's 2 moons. Here's the correct response. Deimos. We return to you, Player 1. Men at Work is a 1932 book containing Lewis Hines' 1930 photos chronicling the construction of this skyscraper. It's Player 1. Good for you! Player 1, back to you. It's the camera lens attachment that allows for a 180-degree wide-angle view. Player 1? That's not it. Anyone else care to try to come up with a correct response? It's Player 3. Sorry, that's wrong. Anyone else care to try to come up with a correct response? Okay, Player 2. Right. Player 2, where do we start? Lake Calhoun and Lake Harriet are in its chain of lakes. Here's the correct response. Minneapolis. Player 2, pick again. In 1907, 2 French brothers with this last name marketed their autochrome glass plates to produce color photos. Yes, Player 3? Oh, sorry. Anyone else want to hazard a guess on this? We're talking about lumière. Select again. From the Latin for to open, it's the camera part that controls the intensity of light striking the film. Yes, Player 1? No, that's not right. Anyone else? The correct response is aperture. Player 2, pick again. Her first photo essay appeared in Esquire in 1960. Much of her work thereafter depicted human oddities. Here's the correct response. Diane Arbus. Player 2, back to you. It's the third largest Hawaiian isle. Player 1. That's correct. Player 1, and I'll hand it off to Sarah.
2 atoms of this element create a stable bond. When 3 of them bond, they form the unstable ozone molecule.
Let's hear it, Player 1. Ooh, sorry. That's incorrect. Anyone else care to try to come up with a correct response? Here's the correct response. Oxygen. Player 1, pick again. It's the O in an IPO, a corporation's first attempt to sell stock to the public. Okay, Player 1. Right. Select again. To use the razor named for this 14th century English philosopher means to use economy in explanation. It's Player 1. No, sorry. Anyone else want to hazard a guess on this? Here's the correct response. Occam. You again, Player 1. Answer. The other daily double. You are currently in the lead. You need to select your wager. All right, here's your clue. A total solar eclipse is an example of this, from the Latin for conceal. Even so, you are still in the lead. Here's what we were looking for. An occultation. And now the $2,000 clue. A chemical engineering book named for this process is subtitled Mass Transfer in Fluid Systems. Yes, Player 1? Sorry, that's wrong. Any other takers? Here's what we wanted. Diffusion. Only 2 of you will be going on to Final Jeopardy. Sorry, Player 3. Time to get ready for Final Jeopardy. And today the category is this. African cities. What are you going to wager? Here's the clue for you. Africa's most populous city not on a navigable body of water. Its settlers didn't need water when they had gold. And your response? With that correct response, you will gain. What did you put as your response? And that will set you back. Congratulations, Player 1. You're the winner. Thanks for playing, everybody. See you next time.